Yo, what's going on? We in the building. It is a Wednesday. You already know we're going live right now with the Dirt Dogg Show. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. You already know what time it is, man. Right now at the Dirt Dogg Show. We're on Spotify. We're on Facebook Live right now, YouTube, Amazon Podcast, as well as Apple Podcast. And tonight, I'm going back to Westlake High School, the class of 1996. We old school. I'm not telling her age, but she's a strong entrepreneur. She's a chef. She's a celebrity chef. She has her own YouTube channel. She has her own business. She's out in Texas doing real big things. Not only is she a booming entrepreneur, she's an amazing wife, an amazing mother, an amazing woman. And I want to give her a roses and a flowers while she's here. And we got on the line hanging out with your boy. We got Chef Jolie. What's up, girl? How you doing?
I'm good. I love that intro.
Man, thank you. I try to do my best, and that's the best I can do. The rest of the show, I can't promise you nothing.
No,
I want to thank you for coming on Low Country Quisine. Before we begin anything, tell everybody a little bit about your business and what you got going on.
Okay, so I am Chef Jolie, owner and executive chef of Low Country Quisine, and cuisine is actually spelled with a Q. You got to remember the queen of Southern gourmet. So I'm 16 years in the business, and we actually are the largest African-American owned full service catering company in DFW. So
that's what's up.
That's who I am.
That's what's up. Yeah, man. Not to go too much into my business, but the time I visited DFW, my ex-wife is from Fort Worth. Now, One thing I love about Texas is you're gonna eat in Texas. Do you hear me? You're gonna eat. I went and got breakfast. The package was big as my head. The bacon came from a pig that had to be weigh as much as I did. The sausage was big. The ribs, everything I ate in Texas was big. They all do it big in Texas. So tell me a little bit about Low Country Quisine, because it reminds me of something that's going to give me the itis when I go to sleep.
Well, so my family is originally from Charleston, South Carolina.
Okay.
So they call coastal South Carolina, coastal Georgia, the Low Country.
Right. Okay.
You know about the Low Country? Have you been to South Carolina?
No, I have not been to Low Country. I'm from like the Gulf Coast. I'm from like Biloxi, that kind of area. So like the gumbo type of area. Yeah.
Okay. Before y'all got that gumbo, it started over on that East Coast. About 80+% of the West Africans that were brought to the United States were brought onto the shores of South Carolina. So the food there is very, very rich in African heritage, Caribbean heritage. So I grew up eating a lot of that food. Every time I would go home for summer, spring break, Christmas, whatever holiday, when I would go to Charleston, both of my grandparents were in the culinary field. So they cooked breakfast, cooked lunch, cooked dinner, and my mom cannot cook at all. So
I don't believe that, but go ahead.
Not at can't boil water. I wouldn't lie. I would not lie to you.
Okay.
So whenever I would come back home, I would want to eat food that tasted like what I ate in South Carolina. And so I just started getting in the kitchen, and I would get on the phone with my grandparents and say, how you make this? How you make that? And I just developed a passion for it since probably about the age of 10, I've been cooking.
Wow. Now, of course, a couple of things we want to get to. We don't have a whole lot of time, so I wanted to get in and jump into it. Now, being an entrepreneur, social media make entrepreneurs look sexy. Look sexy on LinkedIn, and you can put on social media, I'm a boss, and I'm all this kind of stuff. Right. But I know it takes some sacrifice. It takes the ability to jump. Steve Harvey did a whole book on it that I read. TD Jakes talking about jumping. Like, what made you get to the point where you were ready to jump?
Growing up, and I talk a lot about growing up because I believe that's where the foundation is. What you saw in your house, what was poured into you in your house, in your school. We are alumni of Westlake High School, and I'm so proud of that because our teachers poured into us. We were blessed to go to a Black school with Black teachers that cared about us and poured into us. But long story short, my mom always taught me to find something you're passionate about and find a way to make money at it. And so even though I went to college and got a corporate job out of college, just always in the back of my mind was, what can I do that I just love doing that I would do for free and turn it into a business? And
Right.
so fast forward to 2007, I was like, you know what? I cook all the time for people for free. What if I could take my sales experience, because I was selling in corporate America for 10 years, making all
Right.
this money for these companies. What if I took that and started selling food? And I just jumped. And
Right.
I look back on it now. If I would have thought more about it and didn't just jump, I probably would have never done it.
No, 100% feel you. Like that's the same thing. I mean, me being in marketing and then working for law firms. When I stepped into corporate marketing, I was like, I really can just do this for other businesses and people that I know, and like really make a difference in my community and what I'm trying to. That's really what I'm doing now. But my radio side of my DJing side was always my personality. Even when I was at Westlake, I was most talented in our house because I rapped and I did all the little weird stuff that people did. But I wanted to combine the two. But it's a big difference between doing it and still getting them going to work every day and doing it when you know that when you wake up, every move you make is going to make a difference in your household. You got to make some real serious business changes. I see you as a strong businesswoman. What separates you from your passion and that business side of Chef Jolie that nobody want to see if they get wrong?
What separates me from, I guess, if I hear the question right, like the fluff of just loving to cook from being able to close the business
Yes, yeah.
and make the money.
Hmm.
It's just, I think it's a level of grit and wanting to succeed. Like I just have this crazy passion and drive for wanting to do well. And that does not mean that I have not wanted to quit. Like I wanted to quit so many times. Like I have called my mother, like, I just don't know if I can do it. I mean, the access to capital, because when I started Low Country Quisine, I had no loans, no money. I just started with the few chafing dishes and stuff I had from catering on the side and
Right.
whatever was in my bank account. So crazy. Hadn't even
Hmm.
worked for another catering company before, but I just believed in myself. So
Right.
crazy.
Right.
And it's just that passion and having my daughter watch me. She's only ever known me to be an entrepreneur. And the
Okay.
times where I want to give up, I just look at her and I'm like, what am I going to tell her? I quit. I gave up.
I think about that too. Yeah, I think about that too. Because my son goes into the music thing and the DJing and thing and things like that. And sometimes you look at it like, Lord, I don't want you to go through what I went through just
Right.
to get to that certain point. But at the same time, I want you to learn certain lessons about self sustainability, right?
Mhm.
Like actually having the balls and the guts to get up every morning and say, look, regardless of what I'm doing, you have to go ahead and make that jump. I've always been more attracted and more kept people in my circle that were jumpers. Now, a room of jumpers is a whole lot of ideas being tossed back and forth because that's what we talk
Right.
about. We talk about ideas. We don't talk about people. We don't talk about the past. We talk about ideas. Let me ask you this: being that you are a wife, you are a mother, how do you balance out being the wife to your husband and being that strong-willed entrepreneur that you are?
You know what? It is always a work in progress. When I first started, you know what? I did not have balance. Like I just was 24/7 focused on Low Country Quisine. And I think that my relationship definitely suffered in the beginning because I was away from home. Once we moved into our commercial location in 2012, like I said, I didn't have any money. I just had to figure out how to keep the lights on. And that required just like relentless activity, relentless thought. The anxiety, like my anxiety and mental health suffered a lot. I have to say now that, we're 16 years in, I don't have it perfect, but
Hmm.
it's a matter of communication, it's a matter of give and take,
Hmm.
and having a partner that supports the dream. My husband used to say in the beginning, it gets greater later. It'll be greater later. And
Right.
so we're closer to the later now, and things are a bit balanced. We still have our times, but I just have become better at saying no and delegating.
Oh, really? Okay, that makes so it made a big difference on because I do see, I don't want you to think I'm stalking. That makes sense. I'm stalking. No, but I watch everything you do. But I know that you take time for your vacations. Your vacations are a big thing about
Mhm.
you and your family. That when y'all take vacation, when you off, you
Off.
off. So how do you get a chance to do that and not worry about the business at home?
Um, it's a matter of trying to find good people, and good people are hard to find. It ain't just a saying; it's definitely very, very true. And it's a matter, like I talked about, anxiety. Like I didn't know that I had problems with anxiety and depression like 16 years ago. I thought it was normal to be so nervous all the time, right? And that's
Really?
it's not normal to like toss and turn and not be able to sleep and things like that. That is not normal. So really just through um, therapy and figuring out how to manage the things that I can manage and stop trying to control the things that I cannot control and
Hmm.
doing the best. So when I'm off, I make sure and tell the team everything that I need to tell them and try to put them in a position to manage and
Hmm.
run the company, and I do my best to let it go.
Mm. One thing I want to say about that, and I want to add this to this conversation because it's really good what we're talking about, is the fact that I think as a culture, we normalize certain things.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't even know I was sick, right? I thought it was normal.
Mhm.
This is what you eat. This is how you eat. Oh, I'm a
Right.
little sweaty. I'm tired. I got a headache. Or,
Right.
no, you got symptoms of diabetes and high blood pressure, bro. Oh, well, black folks, we get the sugar. We call it the sugar, right? We call
Right.
it things that we normalize things that are not normal. And now we're having a big discussion about mental health because corporately, entrepreneurship, anything that we're doing as a culture right now, we're trying to figure out how to navigate that and be successful and still be happy when we go home in the evening. It
Exactly.
really makes a big difference. So if you had to give anybody, I'm putting you on the spot a lot tonight. If you had to give another woman out there that's thinking about jumping and doing a thing, what's the first thing you think she should work on for her mindset to get there?
I would definitely say therapy for sure. Mental health, like you said, it feels like a buzz phrase right now, but my mom is a mental health therapist. So I actually had the blessing to grow up in a house with a mental health therapist. And
Mhm.
like you said, we normalize being nervous. Our stomach is messed up because we worrying and anxious and all of those things. Because once you do make that leap, you're gonna be scared as hell so many times because you're risking it. You're putting everything on the line, and that will keep you up at night. And
Mhm.
if you aren't mentally prepared for what's about to happen, you will quit. I mean, the majority of small businesses close. I forget what the time frame is, like within the first year or less.
Yeah, usually they say have a year ready, right? They say have a year worth of funds
Mhm.
put up. If you're serious about having a business, put that money away, even
Yeah,
if you're raising capital. But within a year, year and a half, they're shut down. And
yeah,
it's not normally because they have a bad business idea or the sales wasn't there. They just wasn't prepared, and their family wasn't prepared to do
right.
that. And I went. My mother went through the same thing because she's in the music industry. My father was more of a blue collar worker. He was different.
Mhm.
He went to work every day. What he knew was doing happen every day, and she hustled. So we got the best of both worlds. But as you move into that realm, because I went to the other side into like marketing and things like that, when you
Mhm.
that person carrying that weight, when you go home at night, you're like, okay, we're gonna make sure everything good. It is a little bit of a struggle, but I want to bypass past that. Tell me a little bit about Low Country Cuisine, the whole business, and then also some of the big things you got going on. You got your business with the spices you got for sale. You got your YouTube channel. Let's talk about that real quick.
So like I said, I mentioned we're the largest African American owned catering company in DFW.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a mouthful to say, but I'm so proud of it
Mm-hmm.
because I am in Texas. I'm not in Atlanta, you know? So
Black Chocolate City.
you know what I'm saying? So for me to have achieved that and not know anybody here,
Mm-hmm.
I moved here not knowing anybody and walking into places where I'm the only, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
However, now I'm ready to not, I want to close that gap because there's
Okay.
a gap between my company and my next competitor. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? It does not look like me.
Okay.
So yes, I've achieved this, but now it's
Mhm.
time to continue to compete on a higher level.
Have
So
yeah.
we're looking at growing our team right now. I have about um, 12 full-time and part-time employees and 25 or more bartenders and servers. So continue to grow our brand
Right.
above and beyond where we are now. You mentioned the YouTube channel.
Yes.
That's part of my exit strategy because
Okay.
I want to pull myself away from the daily operations within Low Country Cuisine. When I
Okay.
started the company, I always wanted food products. I wanted cookbooks, cooking shows. And when I got in that building and started working, I had no idea how it was going to consume my life. I thought I would cater and somebody would say, "Hey, come be on this show," or "Hey, put some pots and pans in this store." No,
Right. Right.
it was grind time. And so
Yeah.
now that I've, got the business more stable and have people I can delegate to, that's why I've put time into growing the YouTube channel because I'm like, why wait? Like we're at a place in time where you can produce your own content, right?
Exactly.
You
Yeah.
don't have
It
to wait
seems
on the
so
food
much.
network.
Yeah. I mean, even with doing this show that I'm doing now, like I don't have to wait on the radio station to say, go do a podcast.
Right.
You jump out there, you put it out there, you go for it because right now we're creating content. Is
Hmm.
how it works. So I appreciate that. I know that you do a lot of upscale events and things like that. I know you can't name names. My mom never could name names. But how do you feel about your celebrity side of what you're doing?
You know what? I have been blessed to work with some celebrity people that are just real good people. You hear horror stories about working with people, but for me, it hasn't been like that. I feel like in terms of just manifesting the right energies, what you
Mhm.
put out there is what comes back to you. So, it's been a blessing to work with some great people and not just individuals, but we were one of the Dallas Cowboys main caterers for over 2 years. The
Oh wow, wow.
Dallas Mavericks.
Right.
Yeah, so it's been a
So
blessing.
let me ask you this. You know how to carry yourself in the boardroom as well
Yes,
as the kitchen, right?
yes.
But for lack of better terms, what kind of knowledge put you in that? Was it your undergraduate studies, your mother? What put you in the sense to have that kind of like sensibility to go in and do that?
Well, definitely, I'll say first at home, just knowing that you can walk in any room, doesn't matter who's at the table. The
Hmm.
confidence in knowing who you are and knowing what it is you're coming to represent. And then, two, definitely my training in corporate America. Like I said, my career before Low Country Cuisine was in outside sales. So
Right.
it's so easy, though. It's like, I'm talking
You gonna say that? You gonna say that out here so easy?
it's no, I'm talking about walking in rooms
Yeah,
where,
yeah, 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 yeah.
because I am talking about food. Who does not like food? That's number one. And two, I'm talking about my food.
Right.
So it's so easy to talk about it. And I can see the people's mouths salivating when I'm talking about it. But I also know business. I know how to talk about how working with me, if we're talking to a corporate client, how that's going to positively affect your bottom line, how it's going
Okay.
to help your company culture, how I'm going to save productivity. Because if we feed your team members every day, guess what? They're not going out to lunch. You know, they're
Okay.
coming, they're being more productive. So
Right.
I know how to hit on all of those points as it relates to selling my food to corporate people.
Okay. So with your daughter in mind, I'm gonna ask you because it's close
Mhm.
to home. What's your best advice you're gonna give her when she says, "Mom, this is what I want to do, and I want to do this"? What's the first thing you're gonna tell your daughter?
I'm going to tell her what I tell her now. If it's something that you are passionate about, then learn as much as you can about it and go after it. And if it's something that you find out that you're not passionate about, then find out what makes you happy every day. Life is short. I see people get up every single day hating going to work. And I'm like, why? This is not slavery. You do
Yeah.
not have to do something that you don't want to do. And there may be a point in time where, yeah, I got to come up with my plan. So I have to do this right now. But when you get off work, start working that plan and plan your exit to go do what it is that makes you happy every single day.
I feel that. I feel that. So I want to switch it up a little bit. Let's go
Okay.
back and let's talk a little bit something else. Thank you for being on, Chef Jolie. What is your website? How can they reach you on social media and on YouTube?
Okay, so YouTube, you can search Chef Jolie.
Hmm.
And on Instagram, chef underscore Jolie underscore Low Country Cuisine. Oh, I see you got that cue.
Yeah, you already know. You there? You in
Yes.
the building? Do you
And
know
the
this?
website is the same, lowcountrycuisine.com.
Okay, cool. That's dope. That's dope. So let's switch a little bit because me being a person that just recently last November, I was telling you off air that, I went through what I call our normal black men diseases, right? High blood pressure, diabetes. I lost a lot of weight. Thank God for that. And then they took me off the medicine. I don't take any medicine anymore. No lisinopril, no metformin, stuff like that. But I have noticed for me to eat healthy, it costs a little bit more.
Yeah.
So, like, can you talk about like why does healthy food or eating a certain way cost so much?
Um, because most healthy foods are going to be like fresh foods, right? Not
Mhm.
stuff that you can mass produce with a whole bunch of chemicals and preservatives. And I don't know if you ever seen that experiment they did where they have like a McDonald's hamburger that's like they kept for like 30 years and it's still intact. Um,
And it'll be right in your stomach, right?
Exactly, because it has all that crap in it, and America is the worst at this. There's so many ingredients in food here in this country that are banned in other countries. Like
Wow.
you literally, I don't know if you've seen some of
No,
the.
I've seen some because I watch things like Super Size Me. Like when I
Mhm.
went on my health journey, I'll be honest with you, and then people ask me about it because I lost about 60 to 75 pounds.
Wow.
But they took, I swear, if I say it was the simplest things, it was very simple. I haven't had
Mhm.
McDonald's in over 4 years. I
Mhm.
haven't. My son was working at Burger King. I wouldn't eat it. And after I stopped eating it, my mouth wouldn't even taste it the same. I could eat some fast food and no. When I
Yeah.
moved back to Atlanta, I went to Popeyes. I ain't gonna lie. I went to Popeyes and got sick. Like I started eating pie, I got
Oh.
sick. I couldn't eat it. But when I started, wanting fresh fruit and wanting to eat like that and do things, I noticed that okay, look, either I gotta cook every day, I gotta make sure it's gonna step on my grocery bill and stuff like that. But I naturally stayed slimmer just doing natural organic foods. We haven't really taught that to our community. We think it's weird when we talk to our community about things that cost more money that will have a longevity of life. So you being a chef, do you I'm pretty sure you practice fresh foods in your house. I see your videos all the time. But
Mhm.
is that something that you would preach to your family and things like that?
Yes, and it's crazy because I was sharing with you before we came on that my husband and I are on this meal prep journey where I'm,
Yeah.
prepping food, and because we would eat out a lot, and people always say, "You're a chef, y'all eat out, you don't cook,
You don't feel like cooking, right?
you do hair? Do you come home and do hair?"
I
No,
DJ and I hate when people ask me did I bring music when they invite me over.
exactly. Do you got shrimp and grits in your purse? No. I get asked those questions. But
Yeah,
no, we were eating out a lot. And I know that was not good for my family. But it's, you're busy, you got to feed them, what's quick, DoorDash, 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 you know. And I just, decided like, hey, y'all, we have to do better. Like you said, high blood pressure, diabetes runs in the family, high cholesterol. And let's face it, we did say we graduated in 96, right?
yeah, you already
But
know.
you can't eat like you used to anymore. And so my daughter was not happy about it because she had gotten used to, and it's so crazy when I was less busy, I would cook more at home, right? And
Yeah,
she ate all the vegetables. But there was a point in between where I was super busy and, just to be honest, we were eating things we shouldn't have been eating. And so when I told her this is what we were doing, she was like very upset. And I was like,
I've
so
seen your daughter on your YouTube. Like she has the same spunk and personality that you have, so we already know.
I was like, "So you're mad at me because I want you to be healthy and live longer?" I mean, make it make sense.
All
So
right, look. All
it's
right,
so funny now because it's been a month now since we started this journey, and it's like nothing. Like there, she's not upset. She can cook too, so she's cooking things for herself. You would
yeah,
just
yeah.
think that it was, we've been doing this forever.
All right, take a pause for the cause. We're about 20 minutes in, but I want to go ahead and do some quick entertainment news and put you on the spot. Yo,
Okay.
Trey, are we ready for entertainment news, man? Let's go. You can like, subscribe, and share at the Dirt Dog Show. Let's start off with sexy Martha Stewart. She is covering the swimsuit issue of Sports Illustrated at 81 years old. I don't even think that's airbrushed. I
Mm.
think that she did it 100%. And at 81, can we really be mad at Martha Stewart?
That
Look,
is airbrushed.
It's always
okay,
airbrush.
It's gotta be.
Man, look, man, but at 81, she did her time. She's like the low key version of a thug for white women, right? Like she cool with Snoop. Like she did time.
She was
She did,
actually on Squawk Box this morning.
what she say, man? What
I
she say
mean,
about
she just talked about her businesses and the mogul that she is.
Nah,
And
man, 100%. We gotta respect her more
yeah,
than Paula Deen, right? Since we got Chef Jolie on the air, right? Because Paula Deen was on that bull crap.
yeah.
I love Paula Deen shipping grits down
Do
to
you
Savannah, but
do you like Paula
I don't
Green?
want
Why?
shrimp and grits. I
Paula
don't
Dean?
want
I
shrimp
mean,
and grits.
I've
What'd you
never
say?
liked Paula Dean.
I don't want shrimp and nigga grits. I know she calling me
Right.
a nigga, but she making them.
Yeah.
You got to
Yeah.
have my shrimp and grits. Change your whole life.
Change. You know what? I ain't. You know what? When I come out of Texas, when I find me somebody that love me in Texas, shout out to all the women that love me in Texas. You know what I'm saying? I'll fall through and come out there, man. Because I got to do both things when I do one. I want to admit I'm doing both. It's vacation, booty, and eating. Oh my
You
bad.
know what? I hope you find those things so I can come down to Texas with you.
Let me stop. Let me stop. All right. Next on the entertainment news, we got to talk about Jay Morant, man. Or with Jamie
Oh,
Foxx now.
hold on. No, let's do Fox
Let's do it
first.
first. Jamie Foxx is in rehab right now. His daughter has confirmed that he is not in the hospital anymore. He is getting better on this undisclosed. We keep saying undisclosed health scare. I just think that he's preparing for a comeback. I think that he doesn't want to put it out there because they'll try to cancel him. You know how we do people. If he says he has a stroke or something like that, we can't act no more, they'll start canceling him. I think that he just don't want the business to be out there. How do y'all feel about that?
Oh, I've been torn because I want to know, but at the
Yeah.
same time, it's like you got to just respect how he wants to manage what's going on in his life.
Look,
So,
man.
Right.
Look, man. I'd have been in the hospital, and I didn't even know until I've been in a hospital where I didn't know you can put it where nobody can find you in the hospital because you in the hospital is public record. So I've been in the hospital before, and I'm like, yo, you want to have your privacy when you're sick because it just takes that time. So I respect that. As much as we try to be in entertainers' lives, and as much as we want to counsel people when they say something, I want to protect Jimmy Foxx as one of our icons, right? Like a lot of times we tear icons up, we tear them down, and I don't want to do that. Let the brother heal, and let him do his thing. Nick Cannon gonna fill in for him as much as he can because Nick Cannon
Right.
taking all the goddamn
Right.
job.
And us hounding him, that can't be good for his recovery, right? We do
Nah,
need
man,
to
he know
just
that people out there want to know. They want
yeah,
to be busy. His daughter, I'm trying to protect that. His family trying to protect
right.
that. And when you sick, man, you don't really think about that. I know I didn't, and I'm not Jimmy Fox, but I'm not thinking about, I wasn't even thinking about my job, put it that way. I had a job at the time. I was like, yo, I need some time off. But I was scared to take time off because as a black man, you don't want to take too much time off. Because they'd be
right.
like, okay, we can replace you. So I just want to say that he gets better because he is one of our icons, people. Let's let him rest and do his thing. What's the next story, man? Dre, what we got? Oh, Yo Gotti's birthday surprise. Look, for all the ladies out there that love me and say they love me so much, I really would appreciate a Tesla Y for my birthday. I turn 45 on August the 17th, and I promise you, you get all your lovings and all your Facebook posts when I pull up in a Tesla. You feeling me? I mean, I'm saying, hey, Jolie, Chef Jolie, you spoil your husband, right?
Of
With a
course.
Tesla X,
With a Tesla X though. That's $100,000 Tesla.
Look,
120.
I want to retire my husband, whichever comes
Oh,
There you go.
first.
sweet
Whichever
baby
comes first.
Jesus.
Man.
Take me off the camera. Take me off the camera for a minute. Take me off, bro.
Ooh.
Oh, retire. Oh, see on that tab with the brown stuff. Ooh,
Exactly.
tab
Before
with the
I even
brown.
knew who she was, that was a goal because he
Man, tab
really
with the
held
brown
me
one
down.
playing. She said, look, she said, my man been out there in the cops. He been a cop in the LA streets for 20 some years. When he come home now, he ain't got to worry about nothing. He gonna eat vegan, and I'm gonna look good. She do it every day.
Exactly.
Ladies, take a note. That's wifey goals.
Right.
Retire me.
Man, I
I'm
love
working
that.
hard
I
right
want to
now.
retire my
I don't need
husband.
a
There you
Tesla.
go.
I just want to make sure the mortgage and we good. What
Exactly.
we got next, man? I gotta love that, man. One top of your goddamn Angela Simmons. Yo, your homegirl, man. Look, we talk a lot about white collar crime. She invented the thermos thing, and she was like, "Yo, I can like test all the blood things." She lied. She did like the whole little Ponzi scheme, raised the money. Now the judge is saying, "Look, stop avoiding jail." She's been avoiding jail for over like 3 years now. I know that now they're like, look, we've been convicted. It's time for you to go. It's white collar crime. How do you feel about white collar crime? Because we know they don't always they go to the golf course. I mean, let's be real, man. I mean, like What do we gain out putting her in jail? She's not gonna try it again. You know what I'm saying? The guy, her husband that was a partner with her, he's already been locked up for a year now, bro.
Well,
Like,
that's
why
not true.
she?
That's not true that she won't try it again. The guy, I can't think his name escapes me now, but the guy that did Fire Island,
Oh yeah.
Oh, that dude,
he's
man.
doing look, he just
He's
served his
doing it
time
again though.
and he's
If you
doing it
if you
again.
buy a ticket this time, that's on you.
Well,
You buy
yeah,
a ticket
but
to, if
but
you buy a ticket to the festival this time, that ain't nobody on you, man. You know that dude's selling wolf tickets, bro.
right. But I mean, she might not do the
The
Theranos,
thermos thing.
right? But hey, she could be cooking up something else,
I
right? I
don't
mean,
trust her. Did you see the movie?
yeah, I
I
saw
saw
the
the movie, man.
documentary.
She
Yeah,
went
I
crazy.
followed that very closely,
But
and
she had very deep, like it's like she needed therapy. She had very deep issues, like what she thought about
I mean,
herself.
we all have
We
issues, but we
have
don't
that.
do that,
We don't do
right?
that.
I mean, we don't
I
do
mean, the
that,
most I'm gonna do is like, look, it's $20 when you get to the door of my party. Like, look, I told you
right?
10 online, it's 20.
But you know
You
what?
doing you
But
doing
that
free
also
food.
speaks to what you can get away with when you from a certain community, right?
And look, right here, Helena
Because
says she's definitely a danger. She doesn't care about lives and naturally causes people to die, which I will say
right,
there's a lot of
exactly.
misdiagnoses. So let's get past that. Let's go. Can we get to my boy yet? Is he coming up yet?
We're there.
Oh, my man. Yes. John Morant.
He
This
needs
is when keeping
therapy.
it real goes wrong. Keeping it real goes wrong. Look, I'm gonna say this, and I can't even post the video. My boy Quincy Neal, my boy Reginald Johnson, all my Westlake High people. We talked about this. Look, man, we got homeboys. I live in the West End. I own a gun, legally own a gun. I will not, in any given circumstance, be in my car flashing my gun. Nobody knows I own a gun. It's the reason why you own a weapon. You don't go down like that, bro. He's been warned. Can we just finally say that when keeping it real goes wrong, why do we as black men still want to persona this thug thing, this thug character when we out there? This dude is wasting millions of dollars. Can I just say that I think it's the dumbest thing ever? And his homeboy is violated because his homeboy took the picture, posted it, realized he did it, posted it. Now this man is like completely suspended. Let's be real. We could talk about this if he was 19, 18, 17 years old. Nigga, you 26.
Oh, he's that old?
He's old now.
Mm. Can
Come
I
He's
take?
on, bro. Like,
immature.
really?
Yeah. Can I
Come
take
on,
the other
man. Like,
side?
certain things, like, look, man, you don't move the same way. Look, I don't even drive. I would not have a drink and drive anywhere because I'd have been locked up before. Like, you got to be like, there's some things you just don't do anymore when you get to a certain level. He's too talented. I don't know how y'all feel about it, but all I'm saying is we got to stop making excuses for our exceptional black men that go out there and make dumb decisions. This right here was dumb. This is old dog stupid. This is boys in the hood stupid. This is Ricky running and not zigzagging stupid and boys in the hood. This is like
He was
dumb, man.
nervous. He couldn't zigzag. He was nervous.
Yeah, he was a little nervous. I would have been nervous too to do John. You know,
I,
that
I,
was a,
I I actually take the other side of this
we're
dirt.
gonna, we gonna take it off Ricky.
Yeah.
Dead presidents, nervy.
Okay.
Nervous.
There
He
you
was
go.
robbing the bank, right? Like, come on, y'all. Look, seriously, man. Are we really gonna make excuses for a job? Or we just gonna let it ride?
I'm gonna let it ride, and I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna let it ride, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because what is happening now is that hypocrisy that a white man with a gun, a white man can take photos with a gun. White teenagers can take can post videos of them shooting their assault rifle on their property. I got a neighbor, well, he's not a neighbor, but he owns land outside of my subdivision. He shoots his weapons all of the time, like all of the time. Why is it that when a black man picks up a gun, it's something wrong with it? Why is it that when a black man picks up a gun, it's thuggery?
Well, look, man. Look, I bought my first weapons during the COVID, right? Because my
Hmm.
mom convinced me we was gonna have a whole civil war going on. So I went and got licensed, got my concealed weapons license. I bought me a few weapons, right?
That's a good thing. You should have done that. You
I did
absolutely should
that.
have
Me and I
done that.
taught my son how to shoot, in my
Right.
place in Florida. But my thing is this: look, yes, we operate in a double standard, and we know that. One of the biggest arguments we have in our culture is: do we operate under the double standard? Or are you a sellout, knowing that you operate in a double standard, or do you just want to like rebel and go out there and take what comes with the rebellion? Like, let's be real, like that. I mean, Trey, that's a real honest question because a lot of us like they said in that movie Brown Sugar, we sell out for our careers every day in some kind of level.
Mm-hmm.
I go into Arby's every day and be like, yes, sir.
I mean, I
As
don't
much as I
consider
want
that.
to say other
Well,
things,
look, here's the deal. I don't consider that selling out, right? Because you have to play the game in order to get ahead, right? That's not like, look, there's rules to business. There's rules to walking in through the door, like Chef Jolie was, saying earlier. Like, hey, look, it's easy for her to walk through the door and sell her product. That's not selling out. That's her. That's her hustle, right? That's her being a businesswoman. But when it comes to what I'm talking about, is this double standard that certain things are okay for white people, and then when we do it, it's all of a sudden something horrific and something threatening, right? We have senators.
direct question, direct answer. And then we're going to get back to Chef
Okay,
Jolie.
go ahead.
Direct question, direct answer. So you
Hmm.
saying if Larry Bird did that, it would have been fine.
It would have. They wouldn't have said nothing. If it was up to me, I don't even watch basketball, but if it was up to me, if how many people watching this show right now? Let this go viral. We should, if they suspend him for 8 games, we shouldn't watch basketball for 8 games.
You want to
As long as
boycott.
he's suspended, exactly. We should not be watching anything because he did nothing wrong. He didn't point it at anybody. I mean, let's just be real. He didn't point it at anybody. He didn't threaten anybody. It ain't black kids shooting up schools. I think we have one black shooter. And like,
Oh, wait. You going a whole nother show, bro.
I
That's
know
a
this is
whole.
another show. My bad.
What's the guy who's on the podcast with Matt Barnes?
Uh,
Steven Jackson.
yeah.
Did you see he posted on his Instagram? There was some former NBA All-Star white guy had several pictures of himself with all sorts of weapons on social media. And that was his point. His point was
There you
nothing
go.
happened to him. It was like from 2012, 2013, 2015. Go look at Steven Jackson's Instagram and you'll see.
Look, I'm all for any form of unity. I will say that in our community. Like, if we want to stand behind it, I can care less. We can like boycott the show,
I,
the
I
games, and
think we
everything.
should. I
But
don't.
you
I
know,
mean,
but
I
I mean,
wasn't going to watch
honestly,
basketball anyway.
we
But
are the biggest consumers in the world. Almost African American, we consume a lot. So I get it. Yeah, us saying that we're gonna stand behind it, that's cool. Let's make it mean something. Like if we
yeah,
stand behind it, what do we want to happen after standing behind it? Do they change some of these laws or things like that? I hate when we stand behind stuff like. Well, I'm gonna say this, and I know this might get me canceled. My internet might go off, so it does understand that they cancel me. But we did Black Lives Matter, and we supposed to change some litigation, some legislation and things like that, and we haven't changed anything. So I'm gonna step out of that and step back to food before she hang up. Chef Jolie, before we let you go and let you to enjoy your night, please let everybody know one more time how they can get in contact with you. I know that you still do catering, you still have the store open. So if they're in the DFW ever adapted, then you would even be willing to travel and do your thing, right?
Oh yes, please fly me out.
Right. And they can buy your a dab or do you. Tell us about that as well.
Here it is right here.
There it is. Yes. A dab or do you.
A Dabadooya. So y'all, Lowry's. I know Lowry's have our people in a chokehold. We think we got to put Lowry's on everything, but a Dabadooya is a seasoned salt. It has more than 40% less sodium than Lowry's. Has turmeric in it as one of the main ingredients. Turmeric is so good for you. You could put this on chicken, pizza, veggies, seafood, fruit. My grandmother puts it on peaches.
What?
Yes, and you get
what?
she
You got a
does.
big grandma.
Girl,
Grandma
we
old
from
school. Grandma
Georgia
got
now.
some
We from
slippers
Middle
on right
Georgia.
now.
You can buy a Dabadooya on my website,
Peaches.
lowcountryquisine.com. But I really want everyone to go subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's so hard to grow a YouTube channel because we consume everybody's stuff on YouTube and we don't hit the subscribe button. We don't like,
Yes,
don't
yes,
comment.
sister.
So go right now and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And we talked about the seasoning. You got the website.
You know,
So
one last thing before we go. What's the future of Low Country Cuisine? If I could do a 5-year snapshot, where do you want to be?
I would love to be 1000% out of my daily operations, have an executive team in place, and continue to close that gap. Like I said, it's great being the best Black catering company, but I want to be the best catering company. So I see that in the next 5 years. I see my cooking show on YouTube making lots of money, selling lots of seasonings and expanding the seasoning line, cookbooks, all the things.
Let me ask you this: would you consider like a food service delivery, like HelloFresh or somebody like that, where you have your
Good
recipes inside of
question.
that?
We were considering that very strongly during the pandemic, of
Okay.
course, because we were like, what are we gonna do? And we did a little bit of it. It was called gourmet takeaway. And customers would order online and they could pick up curbside or we would deliver. And we actually, there's a big hospital in Houston during the pandemic, 775 employees, instead of them having an in-person awards banquet, for 2 years in a row, we shipped their meals down to Houston. So I have some case study that I know it can work, but it's
Yeah.
just a matter of all of a sudden the world opened back up and catering came back. And it was just kind of like, so it's something that's not off the table. Somebody
Okay.
wants to partner up and, put some money behind it and go in.
You are for it.
I'm all for it.
Okay, cool. All right, last thing before we let you go. Let's do the email, bro. Dre, you ready for emails? Let's go. It's email time. Now, Chef Jolie, you do not have to comment on this if you don't want to. Here's the email. I've been married for 17 years, and my wife and my parents have never really gotten along well. At some point in the future, I will inherit a significant amount of money in real estate, several $1,000,000. I want to spend and invest this money as I wish. If anything happens to me, I want my children to inherit these funds. How do I ensure my wife never gets hands on my inheritance? If we have a divorce, what should I do to make sure my spouse cannot access this money, Brian? Now I work. Now I work for an estate
That's
planning litigation
I had the
attorney.
same look.
I
I
mean,
got none. I got none for you, bro.
It sounds like he don't like his wife, not his parents. None of them like his wife, sound like to me.
I think first of all, I just know like when I work for an estate planning attorney. First of all, last thing you want to do is go to litigation, right? Like if nobody like no power of attorney, they don't have nothing set up. Black folks, we do this all the time. Somebody dies and like they don't know what to do on mama house, right? So we got to figure that out. But to be told, your wife, she has first dibs on that.
So he needs to divorce now.
Right.
Yeah, he would have to like, this has been 17 years, bro. She love his dirty draw. She know everything about him. 17 years, bro. Like, she should be willing to take care of your kids and everything like that. And even with the age of your kids, he could like make his son the power of attorney, something like that. But come on, boy, you gonna email a show and I talk to her 17 years? Even I know better than that. And I done some dumb stuff with women. I know better than that.
Oh
But
wow.
okay, so if he divorced now, she wouldn't get any of the in any of the inheritance though, right? Because they would be
No, they would have to
legally
go. They would have
divorced.
to go to litigation if she challenges it. They would have to go to litigation. I
I
do
mean,
know
but
that.
he hasn't gotten it yet though,
Right.
right?
No, they not dead. No, so he divorced her right now, and they just living together. Then yeah,
So
she ain't nothing she can do
look
with the
that
child
okay.
support.
So Brian, what was it? Was it Brian?
It's
Yeah.
Brian. Yeah,
Brian, divorce her now, like today.
he can't divorce her and get none tonight.
I mean, look, if you don't want to share your money with, I don't think you get none. I don't think
Right.
that's an issue.
Nah, she might be still be giving it up. They give it up. They get weak, man. Sometimes, you know what I'm saying?
There
Like you
has to
could.
be some deeper issues going
Oh,
on.
that's some deep issues.
First
Like,
of all, he might be thinking his parents got millions and they don't. He might not even know what the hell he talking about
that
money
could be
wise.
true.
But he don't sound like he's too smart in that situation because you writing an email to a show talking about I got millions of dollars I don't want to get to my wife. That's evidence in itself. All I'm saying is, look, if he don't want to do it, then just date her, man. Y'all been together 17 years. Like, look, we ain't doing it. I don't know what he thinks she's gonna do with the millions that he think he's gonna be getting if he passes away and she gets the money. Like she gonna take care of his kids. I feel like if a black woman been with you 17 years, that means she done seen you sick, disgusted, and messed up. She done seen you through a couple of jobs and some career changes. Look, man, ride that thing out. Let me tell you something. I don't believe in it's cheaper to keep her. I think it's smarter to keep a woman that rides with you harder. That's how I go with it. Because find somebody gonna ride with you. Now you gotta find you a Chef Jolie. She ride with her man. I know she love that man. Ain't nobody trying that. She be down here out of town looking all good. Ain't nobody trying that. We know Chef Jolie got a good husband at home. Look, bro, live with your husband, your wife, Dre. We know that.
Yeah, I mean,
She,
but I
she,
like
she
my
in the
wife.
Hamptons.
There's no First of all, I'm not going to get an inheritance, so that's not enough. I'm going to inherit some debt. That's what I'm going to inherit.
Nah, man. I'm just saying,
But
look, man. By being raised by the woman that I was raised by my dad, man. You know what I'm saying? Of course, let me say this: my dad was my stepdad, but he raised me as his own. And I tell people all the time, man. Look, when you find two people that work together, they don't have. I don't believe they might discuss those kind of things, but it ain't that much of an issue. Like, look, because somebody that you love, you want them to have the best, especially when you pass. I don't want nobody for me to pass and they don't have what's coming to me. Like,
that's
do
true.
that
So
because
obviously, Brian don't love his wife. Like,
I
I mean,
wouldn't say
that's
that.
yeah. I mean,
Jolie,
come
you think
on,
you think he
dude.
don't love her?
Yeah,
He said, I think the last sentence was, "How can
I
I
put
make sure she don't get her hands on
hands on my
my
yeah.
money?" What?
He look.
She
There's
laying next to him.
obviously no
She laying there
love.
next. She laying next to him right now with her little teddy on, head hugged up with him. You know what I'm saying? Look, let me tell you something about people.
Ew.
Love can be deceiving, bro. Let me tell you something. You can love somebody and not wish them the best. Y'all know that, right? That's like player rule number one. They don't love the chicks they play. Can I say this? Am I saying something wrong? Why everybody face turn up?
I
Well,
never
no.
been
I don't.
there,
I
so
don't know.
I don't
I just don't know if that applies here. I don't. I'm not sure that applies here.
Man, let me tell
I
you something.
think.
Let me tell you
I
something. I've
think
been married. Look, I've been
one. I'm
married
gonna tell
twice,
you.
bro.
You said something interesting earlier. You said black. I don't think Brian is black. This sounds like
Oh,
this.
I thought that was
Well,
I
I don't
hate to do that. I
know.
thought it was a
I
brother.
don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But
Because
I'm just saying.
brother be trying to fight women over like an 84 Monte Carlo. They be like, nah, nigga, she ain't getting them rims.
This sounds like a white issue to me. I could be wrong. What
Well,
do you
I
think?
mean, yeah, but outside of that, like, do most of our families have like 17 million to leave behind?
He didn't say
But
17
but
million.
I will
He
say
said
this,
some
look,
million. Yeah, and that's true. No, I mean black people have millions to leave. I
they do,
mean, yeah,
they do. Your people do, their people do. I know you.
yeah.
You're in the
Black
Hampton,
people have millions to leave
Jackson
behind.
Jills, all that shit. I get it. You know what I'm saying? I believe. You know what I'm saying? Morehouse, Hampton, my nigga. I get it. You don't fuck around. If you go to HBCU, going to the Ivy HBCU. We good. You been to grad school. I got you, bro. No student loans, my nigga. We good. I got you. All I'm
Ooh,
saying is,
think I'm running from student loans. Like, go ahead. We just
anyway,
another.
you got
That's another show.
Jolie. You
That's
didn't
another
sign up for
show.
this show, Jolie. You signed up to talk about your business.
I'm enjoying myself.
So I'm gonna say this to say this and be done.
Mm.
This is my last moment. We'll close things out because we decided to close things a little earlier. I'll keep talking.
Benediction. We have a benediction.
A benediction. It's time to
Mhm.
like do my benediction.
No offering though, please.
No, we're not gonna pass around the plate. I'm good.
Okay.
I don't want those issues. We're not a nonprofit. All right? You know what I'm saying? I ain't taking nobody money on the name of God. We believe that. God taught me a long time ago. I don't play with him. Here we go. People, understand this. There's two things I want to say before we close the show. Number one, when it comes to aspiration, chase your dreams. If you really want to be serious about it, you got to jump. Your jump will never hurt you. Your jump will only progress you. There's two things you're going to learn. If it's a success, you learn that you can believe in yourself. If it's a failure, you can learn from your lessons and things that you learned that went wrong. Because people that jump, guess what? Things went wrong. I guarantee you that Chef Jolie is on my show. Some things went wrong when she first jumped. It didn't happen immediately when she jumped. She jumped out there and she's going through things right now, still navigating. The thing that we got to do as people is support each other when we do those things. Because buy her Shimmer Grips, buy her our dad would do you. Subscribe to her YouTube because we have to be able to support her in the time where she's still building up. We can't wait till she becomes on a TD Jakes level or she's on HGTV doing a show, doing that Guy Peretti stuff, talking about Chef Jolie's grocery games or something like that. Now you want to jump on board. No, jump on board right now, make that happen. That's
Right.
why we do shows like this. Second part, Brian, whether you white or black, it doesn't matter. All I want to say to you is that look, a 17-year commitment, my bro, my dude, you lick some toes, some butt cracks, and a lot of other things. Look, you love that woman. Stick with her. Don't stop thinking the grass is on the green on the other side. I'm gonna show you something that I got that I keep in my house. The grass always looks greener when it's fake. I keep this on my desk to remind me before I ever step outside of anything that was committed to me. My brothers, my people that love me, my people that rock with me, my family that's been down with me. The grass is not greener. It's fake. Understand that. So, bro, before you do that, don't lose everything trying to chase something else. So last but not least, my boy Ja, check your homeboys, man. I got homeboys right now, man. When I was DJing with Lil Jon in the club with Sierra, Yang Twins, all those people doing all that crazy stuff. Let me tell you something, man. When the club lights come up, you ever seen the club lights come up in the club? You stay all night and it look like roaches in there. The floor dirty. She don't even look like she used to look. That's how that roll, man. Put the guns down, bro, because we ain't got to know you have a gun. We know that you're a successful basketball player that's doing something that a lot of kids wish they can do. There's a lot of kids up there looking up to you, a lot of young boys that want to do what you want to do. And I'm telling you what, yes, you might feel like you would better do what you want to do because you got men and they can't tell you what to do with the Grizzlies, but guess what? They can, bro. Because it's only 12 pots on it's 12 spots on the Pistons, as J. Cole said. And everybody want to get one. Look, man, you're a role model. Once you're a role model, you got to take a different stance. And that's my 2 cents. And that's the church doors are open.
And
All right,
I've learned the term jump this week.
you learn jump.
I've learned jump this week. I'm gonna be using that shit all day at work tomorrow.
Jump, goddamn,
All
jump.
day.
Do that shit. Do that at the 8 o'clock meeting in the morning. Be like, look, y'all, if anybody want to say anything now, just jump.
Friday morning meeting. Yeah, I will.
Don't do
Will.
that, man. I'll
No,
know
I
what
will.
you're
I'm not
calling me. You
playing.
can do something crazy.
I will. I am going. I'm going to find a way to use that term. I really am.
Chef Jolie, thank you, sweetheart. We appreciate your time. We had a really good time tonight. Dre, you know how we do, bro. I'm gonna finish my night. I'm out, man. Y'all hold it down.
Bye.
Bye.